Hey traders, Clifford back with another video on how to trade the index, trade the charts. So today I wanted to take a step back and make a video for beginners who are new to technical analysis on how to trade the trend and how to find the trend. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so trends. I mean, if you're new to technical analysis, this is like one of the main things you'll be learning. Um, Support and resistance, trends, indicators, although I don't think you actually need indicators to trade. Um, some people really like to use indicators, and that's fine. But once you learn how to find trends, support and resistance, and Fibonacci, I think that's all you need. So today we're going to talk about trends. Um, and we'll just go into like some basic structure of what are trends and how to briefly find them. And then in the future videos, we'll go more into like how to actually draw in the trend lines and all that good stuff. So when we talk about the trend of the market, I made a video about this a long time ago, but just to like refresh, the market can move three ways. If you're new to trading, then you definitely want to know there's different ways the market could move, and it's mostly three ways. The market could go up, which most people, most traders probably are aware that markets go up. Obviously, they go up usually more than they go down, and of course the market could go down, right? And the third way is the market could consolidate and go sideways into a range. Okay, and trading the trend means that basically you're trading that momentum that the market's moving. So if the market's moving up, we call it an uptrend. If the market's moving, here's like a market moving up right here. This is the S&P 500 futures contract. So as you see from August to here, it's kind of like an upward, sloping incline, right? So that's called an uptrend. In the event this was flipped to the downside, like we could look at another market here, maybe like the bond market, you see the momentum's going down. So this would be classified as a downtrending market because the motion and momentum is moving down. Okay. Um, and then the third option that we were going to talk about is sideways, right? So what does that mean? Well, now I just so you know, I mostly trade the stock indexes. But I also trade sometimes other markets that are trending because trending, I believe, is where you make the money or the most profit, I should say. Um, so let's look at a sideways moving market. We'll look at Bitcoin because I believe this one was consolidating at one point. Now, when you so what do I mean by sideways? Well, basically, you see this? You see that? See how it's just kind of going back and forth, back and forth. It's not trending upward and it's not trending downward, right? It's just kind of like sideways. That's what I mean by sideways. Now, so when we talk about the uptrend, right, let's go back to that. Basically, if the market's moving up like this in an uptrending market, you want to be a buyer. It's that really is that simple. You want to be a buyer. Um, could you be a seller? Yes, you could, but I think the momentum is against you if you're a seller. So you'll have more profitable trades if you're a buyer, in my opinion. Eventually, you'll learn how. Well, the next video I make, we'll talk about how to draw trend lines. But for now, you know, you see how it's. I'm putting a line here just to show you that the buyers are where the money's being made. Okay, like you see how they buy this dip when it gets close to this little line here that I drew in. See, they bought this dip, boom, and it rallied. Now, people tried to make money selling. Yeah, they could have made a profit if they were quick to take profits because as soon as it hit that line, as you see, it took off in the upward direction. Same thing here, touches the trend line, boom, bounces. A lot of times that works. It's called the buy the dip strategy, classic, buy the dip, um, in an uptrending market. But So let's look at the downtrend now. Let's go to that, what was it, the bond market, right? Yeah, this is the bond market. Okay, so just gonna draw a quick line to show you the same strategy. Downtrending market, you want to be a seller. And it really is that simple. You want to be a seller. Look at the sellers, how much profit they're making. You see how this motion is smashing down. I mean, it's just like falling hard, the price. Anyone who's a buyer in this market, in a strong downtrending market, they might make a profit. But again, they have to be very quick because as soon as it gets close to this trend line, the momentum can start taking off really hard to the downside. So again, we'll talk about how to draw the trend lines later in the next video, but for now, I'm just drawing a line to represent the downtrend here. And as you see, it gets close to the trend line, boom, sellers come back in. Now this time it didn't make it to the trend line, but now it did. So the question is, will it sell off again? We don't know. But the odds are that it could unless the trend changes. And eventually, trends do change over time, of course. So you also have to be looking out for trend changing formations and things like that, which we'll talk about in future videos. But for now, that's the downtrend. Okay, now I use the daily charts. I believe the daily charts represent the best, display for finding trends, the best way to find trends, because the daily chart is where you're seeing a full day of trading. And this is where the banks, financial institutions, investors are really pushing the market. If you're on a 5-minute chart, these trends and things like that could work, but I don't think it's the same accuracy as the daily chart. So just keep that in mind. Finally, sideways, right? Okay, Bitcoin. We're looking at this. So how do you define a sideways market? Well, again, you'll learn, we'll talk about drawing the lines later, but for now, I'm just going to bracket this market so you can kind of see where the sideways action is. So you see this? Now, if you look at this closely, you're going to see that it's it's consolidating. See, here's the highs, here's the lows, another new low, but highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs. But as you see, it didn't go anywhere. The market really went nowhere for almost, what is that? 268 days, almost like a 270 day, right? Um, almost a year or close, well, not quite a year, but maybe 8 months or something. So the market's going nowhere. It's just, now during a sideways market, I believe the best trade is to wait. You just wait. I know it's boring. It's like watching paint dry. It's pretty boring, to be honest. Most people fall asleep in sideways moving markets, but eventually, something will happen and the sideways moving market actually becomes the best trading opportunity of our lifetime. A lot of times that happens. It's like winding a spring. The more and the longer it consolidates, when that breakout happens, it could be a life-changing trade. I've seen it happen before in multiple markets. And Bitcoin, it was a breakout as you see here. And basically what you do is you wait for the market to break. This is like a channel. This is a sideways, I call this a narrow sideways channel. But eventually the market breaks through the channel, and that's when you want to jump on the train, get on board, and you look for that breakout, which happened here. Now, now you want to trade this market. But if you're trading this sideways market here, some traders may say, well, yeah, I could sell here and I can buy as it gets close to the low and I could take profit as it, but for me, this is just like the paint drying, like I guess you could trade it like buying here and selling here, buying here and selling as it gets close to the highs. But I think the big move is going to be when the breakout happens. And as you see, I mean, just looking at this, the breakout was pretty significant. I mean, the market moved, what is that, 40%? 75,000 to yeah, to like 100,000 where it's at now, whatever. So but again, Don't want to get too far ahead yet, but and then eventually what you'll learn to do is when you get the breakout, again, you'll learn how to track that new trend that just started. I like to use blue for uptrends, red for downtrends. That's just my personal preference, but eventually you'll learn how to draw in your new trend lines and how to get on this new uptrend. Um, and we'll talk about that in future videos. But so that's basically it. Um, that's basically, how the market trends. Uptrend, downtrend, sideways moving market. So those are the three basics. And in the next video, we'll talk more about how to actually find when to get in your trends, because that's when normally the lion's share of profits will be made, is right at the beginning when the new trend starts, whether it's an uptrend, downtrend, or a breakout from these narrow sideways channels. So I hope that helped some of you who may be new to technical analysis, and look forward to, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like, subscribe, put your comments below. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. And as always, trade what you see on the charts. Trade well.